Welcome back. I have an exciting video I want to share with you. I mentioned in my last video that the next video I produced, which is this one, may make you think a little different about investing. But I got to kind of take you to this Facebook conversation that I had with a friend recently. I think politics are pretty divisive, so I'm not trying to make this a political video, so don't read into that. But a long story short, my friend had posted on Facebook about Jeff Bezos and income tax. And through that conversation, it came up about wealthy people borrowing against their assets. That's nothing new. I've mentioned it on this channel. Of course, when I responded, a bunch of other people felt the need to chime in. In fact, one person said this: Matt, please explain how someone can do this even with a house worth only $500K. Please show us the math on how someone can pay themselves with that, not including some ridiculous reverse mortgage stipulation. Boom, right there. Total kick in the gut, right? No, I actually explained it pretty well, and I'm going to explain it to you here too. First, $500K for a home. That's about the average house in America. However, you can find homes way cheaper than that. I've showed you on here. Remember this bank-owned disaster home that I bought for $23,000? I put roughly $12,000 in it. It's part of my challenge videos. They're out there. I bought several more. In another video, I showed these other two houses that I was looking to buy with the equity in that home. So let me break down what you could do if you had a $500,000 home. Let's not even pretend to say that we own the house outright. But if you did own the home outright, that would be amazing in itself. Let's say out of a $500,000 home, the person's lived there for 10, 15 years, and they owe about $300,000 now. Let me walk you through my math. If you owe $300,000, you can turn around and you can pull the equity out and buy a rental property. But I think here's what scares people. They think, oh, I can pull out $200,000. You can't. You can only pull out $100,000 most of the time, maybe a little bit less. But we'll go with $100,000 for this example. See, if I pull $100,000 out on a $500,000 home, if the home appraises for $500,000, I can probably pull 80% out of that $500,000 home, which gives me that $100,000 that I'm talking about here. If you look at the $23,000 home I bought, you could buy 4 of those, but you wouldn't have the money to renovate it. And maybe right now you're thinking, okay, this is all just funny money. There's no way to really do this. Well, I'm telling you, I'm doing it right now. That $23,000 home that I put $12,000 in, that's part of my challenge. Guess what? It just appraised for $89,600. Do you know what that means? That means I'm going to buy both houses that I said in that video I was going to buy one or the other. In fact, I'm closing on it here in a couple weeks. One house is already done, renting for $600 a month, and that house I bought for $40,000, it appraised for $50,000. I already have $10,000 in equity in that house, and the other house will be free and clear, and I'm going to get a little extra money from the bank so that I can fix it up. We'll talk about that payment and we'll talk about all that stuff after I close and I have all that information here. But what I really want to stress to you guys is that you can make these things happen. And while $23,000 may seem like a lot, and then another 12 to go in it to make it livable, I'm telling you, if you start investing today, that $5 challenge is there for a reason. $5 a day becomes a week, becomes a month, becomes a year, 2 years, down payment, boom, I'm in. And if you can buy in an appreciating area, your home will appreciate fast while your tenants pay the rent. But even after I explained all that, there were even more comments. There were people saying, oh, well, you have to be handy and you have to be the one swinging the hammer and know what you're doing. Well, sure, at some level, you have to be competent enough to understand what you need to do. And when somebody gives you a bid on something, to know if it's too high or not, to shop it around, to get 3 bids, to build a network you trust, find vendors that you trust as well. You can join local landlord associations, network, find these people, they're there. But if you do the math right, this could really snowball into something that will change your life forever. Again, this $23,000 investment that I bought, I put $12,000 in. You can go back and watch all the videos, the proof is there. So I take the $23,000 home, it becomes a $35,000 home. I rent it out, it cash flows on its own, and then when a good deal comes on the market, I consider buying it, and at the same time I'm consider buying it, my banker calls me with another one. So I've taken that house, so that house appraised for $89,600. If I just wanted to BRRRR it and take that money out, I could have pulled out $70,000. I didn't even have that much money in it, but instead I'm taking that money and I'm parlaying it into another house, which is already giving me $10,000 in equity after the appraisal. And then I'll have the third house free and clear. Guess what I'm going to do with that third house? I'm going to renovate it. I'm going to rent it, I'm going to refinance it towards something else, and I'm going to repeat the process indefinitely. And yes, I've owned rental property for over 25 years, so I know some ins and outs. But the stuff that I'm trying to tell you today is stuff I wish I would have told myself 25 years ago. This is not personalized financial advice. There's no way I can know your personal situation. However, I do think you should do some due diligence. Hop on realtor.com, go to Zillow, do the comps. That's comparisons of other homes that have sold. Find a house that's out there, see what it needs. Houses that smell bad, houses that are full of clutter, those are gold mines. That bank-owned disaster house, go back and check out that first video. I'm actually going to put the link at the top of the description so you can go back and see what it was like when I first did it. If nothing else, check out the shorts. I'll put links for those too. There's a couple in there that are going to gross you out. But then the before and after, that house transformed amazingly. And you don't have to take my word for it. There's an $89,000 appraisal that says so. So if you like this kind of content, I can deep dive it a lot more. Just let me know, message me, comment down below. But just to recap, this is something anybody can do. Find a cheap fixer-up house, fix it up, rent it, refinance it. Pull that money out. More than likely, it's going to be 20 to 25% that you have to keep in. But the rest is free and clear. It's not taxed. It's not income. It's a loan. So yes, you're right. People who have assets can get around some income tax laws because it's a loan, not income. But back to the process. Take that cash and instead of living on it, reinvest it into another property and do the same thing. You buy, you renovate, you rent, you refinance, and you repeat. The BRRRR method. It'll change the way you do investments. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Stick around. We're going to do great things.